Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today we are doing my wrap up. So this is part 1 and we will get to part 2 later. So I will talk about 14 books now and 14 books on part 2. So yeah, it went pretty well. I'm super happy about 28 books, I think it was, so it was really great. We're in a new location today because my room is cold and a mess. We just got snow, which is great, you know, but I just have to deal with it. My cat is looking at me like I'm crazy, so yeah, but let's just get into the books that I have read this month. And yeah, I read a lot of good books. I think this month has been one of the best months reading wise, so let's just start because 14 books is quite a lot. The first book I read was Giantess Volume 1, and this is basically about 3 friends who are in, I think it's college, it might be hall, I think it's college. Basically, their life there and kind of weaving through things. So I gave these 4 stars. I really enjoyed it and I definitely want to continue on with this. I don't know when I will continue on, but I definitely will. The next book I read was Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. And this is basically the author explaining kind of why she don't like and want to talk about racism or race with white people. And yeah, I definitely would recommend reading this. I mean, I gave it 5 stars. I can't give it anything else because I really liked this book. It was really informative, and you know, it's a non-fiction, and I feel like that is the number one criteria is that it's informative. So yeah, the next book I read was Anne of Green Gables, and this is basically about, we start to follow these 2, I think they are siblings, and basically they want to hire or adopt a boy to work at the farm that they have called Green Gables. But what happens is that they end up getting a girl, and basically what happens is that they decide to keep this girl, and it's kind of her story there. I got 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm definitely going to, I think it's one more book, or it might be more, but it's at least one more book, and I will definitely get to those. The next book I read was The Kiss Quotient, and basically in this book we are following Stella, and she has autism. She's at least on the spectrum, and basically she has only had really bad experiences when it comes to relationships and sex. Basically, she decides to hire an escort called Michael to kind of try to be a good girlfriend, and he says yes to this, and it was really cute, and a good 5 stars. I loved this book, and I definitely can't wait to continue on in this series because I know that I think is it Kai we are following? I don't remember in the next book, but I definitely want to continue on. The next book I read was The Invisible Life of LaRue, and I made a spoiler vlog for that, which I will link up in the cards. And in this one, we are following Abi LaRue, and basically, it's set in two timelines. It's set in like 1800s, and then the other one is in 2014, I think. And basically, what happens is that Abi LaRue is supposed to get married to this guy. However, she has this friend who says that you should pray to the gods. However, you should never pray to the gods that come out after dark, because you never know who is going to answer. However, on the wedding day, Abi LaRue runs out from kind of the wedding and she starts to pray. And it is going dark. And the one that answers is kind of this, not devil, but like ask God. And basically, the deal she makes is that she will live forever. However, the creature that, or kind of the devil, makes it that she will live forever. However, no one will remember her. So that is kind of the story. I give 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. If you want to know more thoughts, you have the video. That is a spoiler vlog, so you know, if you don't want to read this book or just want to know what it's about, or if you have read this book, then go and watch it. The next book I read was Fortuna Sworn, and in this one we are following Fortuna, and her brother disappeared 2 years ago, and she has been looking for him ever since. And basically Fortuna is a nightmare, which basically she's the last of her kind, and basically when she touches you, she can kind of get you can kind of look at your greatest fears that are not there. And basically what happens is that this Fae King comes in and he says that I know where your brother is, however, and I can show you to him. However, you have to marry me. That is kind of happening. So I gave it these 5 stars. I loved it. I mean, there are definitely some toxic-ish relationships going on in here, so beware. Read the trigger warnings before going into this book. And I mean, as the story progresses, it is definitely more trigger warnings. The next book I read was Science, Politics, and ME. And basically, the author is kind of exploring how science and politics kind of affects how kind of people are looking and what basically people are doing to ME. And I gave it 5 stars. It was really informative, and yeah, I mean, I like reading books like this because it kind of sees what are people actually doing to help people with ME, because there is no cure. And you know, a lot of things are kind of being looked at that maybe not is the best thing to be doing to them. The next book I read was The Trials of Morrigan Crow. Kan du legge deg? And basically in this one we are following Morrigan Crow, and she is doomed to die on her, is it 11th or 12th birthday. However, before that day comes, or at this that day comes, a guy named Jupiter North comes and kind of whisks her away to Nevermore. And basically there she needs to kind of show these people that are living there, called Smith, that she can be a part of the community. I gave these 4 stars. I really enjoy this book. It's one of, like, I don't read much middle grade, and this is definitely my favorite middle grade that I have read. And then I read Abi Thomas. And in this one, we are following Abi Thomas, and he can see dead people. And basically, he helps kind of the dead that can't move on, kind of move on and kind of figure out what happened to them. And then he kind of sees this weird person, and he starts to following him around because he thinks he's up to something. And things go wrong. I gave this 2 stars. I didn't like it. I didn't want to sit down and listen to it. So whenever that happens, I know that maybe I didn't like it. I know I didn't like this one. The next book I read was The Sunflower Project, and this got as an arc from NetGalley. And basically in this one, it's a poetry collection, so I can't say too much, I feel like. But it's basically about this girl, or the author, and she has been in a bad, toxic relationship, and it's basically her kind of finding herself, and it is mentions of God and kind of have to grow closer to him. And I gave it 4 stars. I really did enjoy this book, and I have never been in a toxic relationship myself. However, you know, there are just like sometimes you kind of really like a poetry book, even though you can't like really 100% connect to it. There are like parts where you can. The next book I read was Playing in the Dark, and this book is about kind of the author here kind of sees how Black people are portrayed in like classics, and I think maybe there was movies, but at least classics, and she kind of sees how they are portrayed there. I give it 4 stars. I really did enjoy this book, and I'm definitely going to read more from this author because she has some other stuff out. The next book I read was The Crimson Petal and the White, and in this one we are following, it is told in like weird style. It's kind of that a guy is guiding you around, and basically you meet Sugar, which is a prostitute, and I don't remember the other character's name, but it's this kind of rich guy who kind of get a liking on Sugar, and yeah, I don't know. It's like an 800-page book, and I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't anything wrong with it. I just didn't 100% vibe with it, so it's not like my favorite thing ever. But it was okay. I'm watching the TV show now just to get some more grasp around what was this actually about, and so far I think I'm actually liking the TV show more. Then I read Please Come Off book, and this one is it's a poetry book as well. I got it off NetGalley, and this is basically about this author trying to like figure out who he is. And yeah, I give this 3 stars. I still really like this book. It was just a poetry book that didn't like connect to me on like this personal level, I almost said. Like, yeah, it just didn't click like 100% right where I kind of felt a lot. Maybe it was because of like theater references. I have never been kind of into that, so it might have been that. The last book I want to talk about is Ruin and Rising, and this is the 3rd book in the Grishaverse. And basically this book, yeah, is the 3rd one, but in the first one we are following Alina, And basically she's a soldier in the army, and they are crossing a thing called the Shadowfall, which basically is this place where all dark creatures are kind of in. And basically in there she finds out that she has power. She's a sun summoner, so she's taking to this place where they trade grishas. And it goes from there. And I mean, if you haven't heard about this series, where have you been? I mean, the TV show is really like almost upon us. And I can't wait to get to that one as well. I gave these 4 stars. I really enjoyed this ending. It's not like my favorite series, but it's definitely up there. I really did enjoy it. And I can't wait to continue on with this series. So, that was it for this video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you on Saturday for part 2 of my wrap up. So I just like not having too long videos because it just takes so long to edit, and I just feel like if I have shorter videos as well, I just feel like maybe people have time to watch them. But yeah, I hope you like this video, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye!